Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, there you go. All right, so for the Form 4 lesson, we are looking at simultaneous equation persamaan serentak. Now for simultaneous equations, we have got, for today, we are going to do three unknowns, three variables. That means X, Y, and Z, okay? Oh yeah, one more thing. When you guys are live, can you please just mute yourself? Because if not, I can hear all the background noises and everybody can hear all the background noises. So maybe, for example, if you've got a younger brother or sister, then after that, you can hear them crying in the background, or maybe your mom or dad yelling at you. Everybody can hear. Yeah. So please mute yourself when I'm teaching, so that everybody can benefit and you can only hear my voice. Okay. All right. Good. So as I was saying, we are going to be looking at persamaan serentak. Now, actually, simultaneous equation is not that complicated. Okay. So I've sent you all some questions. I think today I can only manage to do the ones with three unknowns. Okay, three linear equations. Then maybe in the next lesson I'll do with you all one linear and one non-linear. Actually, by far, this topic is quite simple. So let's pick just one question here. Okay, let's look at question number one. You guys have your notes. If you have printed out or you have it on your computer or whatever not, follow along. All right. So this is question number one from your notes, where your equation here is 5x minus 2y and then minus 4z equal to 3. That's one equation. The second equation is 3x plus 3y plus 2z equal to negative 3. That's the second equation. And there's a third equation, of course, which is negative 2x and then plus 5y. After that, plus 3z equal to 3. Okay, so we have got three equations. Now, there are many ways to solve this, but the simplest way, I think, to solve an equation is to do this, okay? So you see we've got three equations, so we're going to focus on, you know what, I should drag this, hang on, give me a minute, let me just drag this so that I can put it in the center of the screen so that you can see it easily. Okay, so first, we are going to focus on just these two, okay, those two. So what we need to remember is that when you do simultaneous equation, we need to maintain 2 and remove 1. So here we've got x, y, and z, okay? X, y, z. So you have to decide which 2 you want to maintain. Example, let's say I want to maintain x and y, okay? If I want to maintain x and y, that means I want to remove z. The one that you want to remove, the number must be the same. For example, can you see this z is 4 and this z is 2? Okay, it doesn't matter. The sign isn't important. It can be a negative or a positive. That's not important. What's important is the number. The number must be the same. Okay, so in case some of you cannot hear, number must be the same. Okay, so I want these two numbers to be the same. So one number is 4, one number is 2. So if I want the number to be the same, that means here, the first one, no problem. I can just copy back 5x minus 2y minus 4z equal to 3. But the second equation, I must times 2. So this one here, I must times everything by 2. If I times everything by 2, that means I will have 6x plus 6y plus 4z equal to negative 6. You see that? Okay, so now the z becomes the same. Okay, and what we are going to do next is we are going to eliminate. Eliminating meaning we are going to either plus or minus, tambah ataupun tolak. It depends on what happens. Okay, now students ask me, how do I know whether I want to plus or minus? Well, if you don't know, okay, let's say first I want to minus. If I minus, what's happening here? I do not need to do x and y. Remember, I maintain x and y. I want to remove z. So because I want to remove z, I only focus on the z only. So if I minus the z now, negative 4 minus 4 gives me negative 8z. So which means here, the z is still here. Okay, the z is still here, which means we never remove. That means wrong operation. So maksudnya bukan tolak, it's not minus. Okay, so if it's not minus, then I try again. What if I try and plus? Okay, now again, focus on the number you want to remove. So if I plus now, can you notice not negative 4z plus 4z becomes 0z? So 0z is 0, so which means I do not need to write anything. So it's gone, right? Maintain 2, remove 1. Okay, maintain 2, remove 1. So I remove z already by adding this, which means it's correct. So now if I plus the x and the x, the y and the y, so 5x plus 6x will give me 11x. Negative 2y plus 6y. Again, if you have problem with negative numbers, tolong pakai calculator. Okay, calculator. Don't type the y lah. You type the number only. So negative 2 plus 6, that will give you plus 4y. Z dah hilang because it's 0. The number here we have 3 plus negative 6 becomes negative 3. Okay, so that's one equation. Okay, so this one here, we just chose for the first two equations. Next, we pick the next two equations, these two pula. Okay, so now I put on this side. So for these two equations here, you cannot say, once I maintain xy, I remove z, the other one maintain something else. Tak boleh. It must be the same. So because we choose to maintain x and y, yang ni pun kena maintain xy. So the z kena hilang. But the problem is now, can you see or not? This z number is 2, this z number is 3. Okay, so I need 2 and 3 to become the same. So we call this LCM, lowest common multiple, or in BM ialah GSTK, gandaan sepunya terkecil. So if you remember, 2 and 3, smallest number I can make them the same is 6, correct? 6. So 2 times 3 becomes 6, 3 times 2 becomes 6. So which means, this part here, the top I must times 3, the bottom I must times 2. Okay, because again 3 times 2 is 6 and 2 times 3 is also 6. So if that happens, my equation now becomes like this, times 3, so I got 9x plus 9y plus 6z equal to negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. Okay, the top row, the second equation. The bottom one pula, to make it become 6z, I times 2 pula, so negative 2x times 2 becomes negative 4x plus 5 times 2 is 10y, and then plus 6z equal to 3 times 2 becomes 6. Okay? Yeah. So now can you see the z numbers are the same? So because the z numbers are the same now, okay, so like before, we are going to eliminate pakai cara penghapusan, because remember in your form 1 you have learned persamaan serentak. Penghapusan is one, another one is penggantian kan. Okay, so yang ni again, if I don't know whether to plus or minus, I can try. So for example, if I minus, remember we want to remove the z, so 6z minus 6z becomes 0, right? So it's gone, the z dah hilang, which means it's correct, which means minus is the correct operation. Okay, so we minus the rest. 9 minus negative 4, that will give you 13x. 9y minus 10y, that will give you negative 1y, or I can just write negative y. Sama dengan negative 9 minus 6 will give you negative 15. Okay, so this is the second equation. So I want you to realize that the reason we are doing this because we get this equation and we get this equation here, nampak? Okay, so as I said, remember, we maintain 2, remove 1. So now from this 2 equation here, we go down further. Think of it like an upside down, it's like a triangle or an upside down pyramid. Maksudnya from big, we go small and we go smaller. Okay, we just funnel it down. So that means now the x and y. Now again from here, I can choose either elimination or I can choose substitution. Okay, now if you realize from here, the best way to go is this. Okay, from here, I'm going to arrange it so that y equal to 13x plus 15. Understand? Okay, 13x plus 15, because what I do here is this one pindah sini and this negative y pindah the other side. So I want the negative y to become positive y. So why we do that? Because now, because we have an equation here, so kalau dah tahu y equal 13x plus 15, I can take this and ganti into here. Okay, we ganti into the second equation. So which means now, this equation was 11x plus 4y equal negative 3, but now we're going to ganti the y, because we already know y is 13x plus 15. So maksudnya now, 11x plus 4, y is 13x plus 15, tutup kurungan, equal negative 3. Let's zoom it in. Okay, all right. We replace. Expand the bracket, buka kurungan. So now I have 11x plus 52x plus, this is 60, equal to negative 3. Okay, and then we can arrange. So from here, I have 1152, so 63x equal to negative 63. That means x equal to -1. Boleh faham kan? Okay. So I repeat from the top. From 3 equations, so you take the top 2, one side, bottom 2, another side. Okay. You have to choose to maintain 2, remove 1. The one you have to remove, the number must be the same. So we eliminate. Keep it simple. Because if you pakai penggantian from the beginning, it can be very, very complicated, very, very messy. Okay. Then after that, from the 2 equations that we get, we can either combine or we can eliminate. Okay. So now I know x equal -1. So which means now I'm going to take this x equal -1 and I can ganti into here to find y. So if I ganti here now, that means now I have, what is this? Y equal to 13, x is -1 plus 15. So that gives me -13 plus 15. So y is equal to 2. Okay, so now I found x, I found y. So we already found 2. Notice not, the one we maintain is what we find first. The one we remove will be what we find last kali. Okay, so since we already know x number and y number, now I can go back and choose whichever equation I want from the original. Maksudnya, I can choose yang ini, I can choose this one, I can even choose this one. Doesn't matter. Okay, doesn't matter. I can choose any one of these 3. So let's say I choose the first one. Okay, so if I choose the first one, which is 5x minus 2y minus 4z equal to 3. We already know the x number and the y number, so now we can ganti. So 5, x number -1, minus 2, y number is 2, minus 4z equal to 3. Okay, now we can find z. So this is -5 minus 4 minus 4z equal to 3. If I do this slowly, that's -9 minus 4z equal to 3. Bawa pindah, so -4z equal to 12. Z is equal to -3, and then we are done. So now we have found x, y, and z. Okay? All right, so this is for the first question. Of course, as you do your questions, you might encounter some problem. Actually, it's not a big problem, okay? So now I'm going to pick another one. Like I said, this is a lecture class, which means I lecture, I explain to you, you follow along, and then later you try and do those questions by yourself. Tak faham? Don't worry. WhatsApp group ada. You just tanya, okay? Because right now I've got another 20 more minutes left on the clock. Otherwise, the meeting will be ended, okay? All right, so now, the next one. So this is the first question. So I'm going to put this aside. Okay. Second one. Okay. Question number 2. That one you can do by yourself. Question number 2. You can follow the same step, same method, same style as question number 1. Okay. All right. Now the next one I'm going to look at is question number 3. So question number 3 here we have what is this? 2y minus z equal to 7, and then the other one is x plus 2y plus z equal to 17, and then 2x minus 3y plus 2z equal to -1. Okay, so once again we have got 3 equations, 3 persamaan. Okay, we have got 3 equations. So what you guys have to understand again earlier, as I said, we have to pick 2. Yeah, somebody raised their hand. Can you please keep your questions for later? Okay, I can see someone raise your hand, because like I said, I need to save time. Okay, save time. So you can ask later in the WhatsApp group or after I finish explaining all this. Okay, so in this case here, nampak tak? This equation here got 3 unknowns. We have x, y, z. This equation here, we also got 3 unknowns, x, y, and z. Okay, and then after that, for this equation pula, we only got y and z. In other words, okay, remember I said we have to choose maintain 2, remove 1. Okay, sebenarnya for this question, right, indirectly, the question already choose for you which one to maintain. The question already choose for you to maintain y and maintain z. Okay, so that means, right, if I maintain y and z, that means, right, this one here I tinggalkan dulu. Okay, so what I do now is I pick these 2. Okay, I pick these 2. Right, I pick these 2. So I pick these 2 and eliminate. Remember, we want to maintain y dengan z. We want to remove x. We want to remove x. Okay, we want to remove x. So what happened now is to remove x. Can you see here? This part I need to times it 2 because it's x. The other one is 2x. So when this happens, I have 2x plus 4y equal to 17 times 2 is 34. The bottom one tak payah darab because it's already 2x minus 3y. Kejap, hang on. I forgot something. Plus 2z equal to 34. And then this one is plus 2z equal to negative 1. Okay? So as I said, we maintain 2, remove 1. Yang ni, the question already picked for you. They already picked for you to maintain y dengan z. We want to be remove x. Okay? So that means now I need to draw a line and I need to decide whether it's a plus or a minus. Like I said, if you don't know, we try and minus first. Okay, we try and minus first. So 2x minus 2x, that's 0. Interestingly, for this question, 4y minus negative 3y will give you 7y. And the z pun akan hilang. Because 2z minus 2z becomes 0. So no more z, only y is left. So it's faster this way. And then 34 minus negative 1 becomes 35. And then you get y equal to 35 divided by 7, it gives you 5. Okay? So it's much faster. So in this case, right, I only use the bottom two equation. Okay? And after that, I don't even need to do the top two. Because the top two, I can use that to find y already. Because I can find z, sorry. So understand this, from here, I tarik here. So we already know 2y minus z equal to 7. We already know y, ganti inside. That means here 2, y number is 5 minus z equal to 7. 10 minus z equal to 7, which means z is then equal to 3. Done. Okay? So this question is unique because the question itself indirectly tells you which one to maintain. So maintain y, maintain z, remove x. Okay? And after that, this one, the next part I leave for you to do, take the y, take the z, and choose either equation number 2 or equation number 3 to find your x. That one you all can do, right? Okay? So that one I leave for you all to do. Okay? All right. Now, moving on. There is another question here which looks like question number 3, but the problem is it's not going to be fast as number 3. Okay? So now I'm talking about question number 4 pula. So let's look at question number 4. Now in question number 4, once again, you've got 2x plus y equal to 2. Second equation, x plus y minus z equal to 4. Third equation is 3x plus 2y plus z equal to 0. Okay? So again, remember I said we have to maintain 2. Maintain 2, remove 1. Notice the question already tell you which one to maintain. Because there's x, there's y, which means we have to remove z. Okay? So once again, we take these two, okay? And we want to remove the z. But this time tak payah darab. Nampak tak? The z, they're both 1. 1z for both. Okay? So on this side here, we have x plus y minus z equal to 4. And then 3x plus 2y plus z equal to 0. And then we have to either plus or minus. So I draw a line first. Okay? And again, if you don't know, cuba tolak dulu. Okay, so now I cuba tolak. If I tolak now, the z, nampak the z, negative 1z minus 1z becomes negative 2z, which means we fail. We fail to remove z. So if you fail to remove z, that means minus is the wrong operation. The correct operation here should be plus, tambah instead. Tambah. Okay, it should be a plus. So x plus 3x becomes 4x, y plus 2y becomes 3y, z dah hilang. Negative z plus z becomes 0, 4 plus 0 becomes 4. Now notice now, in this case here, we end up with 4x plus 3y. All right? Tadi, we straight get y. So how do I continue? Now again, the question is already told you to maintain x dengan y. So in this case here, it's again straightforward because now, I just pakai yang ni, this equation. So if I pakai this equation here, okay, this one here, remember, original one is 2x plus y equal to 2. So I can use either elimination or penggantian, substitution to find your answer. Okay, so depending on which one you want to use, you have the choice, you have the freedom. So if I arrange this, y sama dengan 2 minus 2x, then I can replace into here. Okay, so which means now 4x plus 3y equal to 4. So 4x plus 3, y dia ialah 2 minus 2x equal to 4. Open the bracket, you get 4x plus 6 minus 6x equal to 4. So what do we have here? This is negative 2. This is negative 2x. So x equal to 1. Okay. And then to find your y, we can just take this x answer and plug into here. Find y and then find z. Okay. Macam tadi. All right. Now, I've got another about 10 minutes or so. Okay. One more thing I must remind you guys. Okay, let's just do this quickly, okay? Because I want to explain one more thing with you all, okay? For the work I've given you all, I think so far should be no problem. Your answers are pretty much direct. The only one you have problem with is the one that is the second one. The second set yang linear dengan non-linear, that one I'll bincang another class. I'll arrange for another class. Okay, so for our session, okay, hang on, let me just stop the share, okay? All right, okay.